medicine. So I have these cards that I pull from that have different animal spirits on them, and I do readings with these cards. And I thought, Monday would be a good day to have something to look forward to and to some kind of focus or context for the week. And so what I thought is that each Monday I'm going to draw a card and see which animal comes up, and we can see what kind of medicine that animal has for us to look forward to the week, give a context to the week. So I'm going to pull a card, and we have butterfly. So butterfly is a very powerful medicine. As a totem, as a power animal, butterfly is all about transformation, of course. The thing about butterfly is that, a lot of things about butterfly, but one thing is that when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, it doesn't just sprout wings and then come out of the cocoon as a butterfly. The entire animal that is the caterpillar breaks down into a genetic soup. And so, in other words, the caterpillar literally dies. And there's little, I guess you would call like a virus that would change the caterpillar into a butterfly. But the caterpillar has these little antibodies inside of it that keep that transformation from taking place. So when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, those antibodies go away, and the DNA sequencing begins to change, and so you get this caterpillar soup. And I know you know what that feels like, because I feel like that a lot, where you're in transition, and the old ways don't work anymore, but the new ways haven't totally taken hold yet. And you feel really that uncomfortable place in between. That's caterpillar soup. And not a comfortable place to be, but the thing to remember is that in those moments of change, in those moments when nothing makes sense, when everything is rearranging itself, your best days are ahead of you. There are things ahead of you that you have not even dreamt of. You are not just sprouting wings, you are changing into an entirely different creature. The butterfly and the caterpillar are two totally separate creatures with separate DNA sequencing. And so those viruses I mentioned, they start to rearrange the genetics. And lo and behold, a butterfly begins to take shape inside the cocoon. So, the death of the caterpillar is the birth of the butterfly. Literally. That's not just a metaphor. The old patterns, the old you must die for you to transform into who you came here to be. So, there are not a lot of spiritual transformations that are not painful. And that sounds really bad, but it's just from a certain perspective that it's the dark night of the soul, really. At some point you outgrow your world. The world that you knew no longer holds sway, and you cannot fit into that world anymore. And like the caterpillar, it's time to go inside and to completely fall apart. In shamanism, we call it dismemberment, where everything you knew, everything you are, is taken apart until nothing exists except your pure essence, your pure spirit. And then the universe puts it back together even stronger and better than it was before, and that is the butterfly. So when you find it yourself in those places, again, of confusion, of not knowing what's going to happen, having no footing underneath you, feeling like everything has been uprooted and torn apart. Know that there is purpose in this. This would not be happening if there were not something on the other end of that change. And once that change starts to come, here's another thing about the butterfly that not a lot of people realize. If you were to cut open the cocoon to release the butterfly will die, because the butterfly has, in its guts, it has some fluid that, as it pushes against the threads of the cocoon to make its way out of the cocoon, it forces that fluid up into the wings, and that's what allows it to fly. And so without those threads to push against, without pushing its way out of the cocoon, without fighting for its way out of the cocoon, it doesn't have the strength to fly. And so as you're beginning to come out of the caterpillar soup, as things are starting to come together, there will still be the opportunity to validate your existence, to validate who you are becoming. There will be things to push against. There's old things that might come up, old patterns to test you, and they're there just to strengthen you. Every thread you push against out of the cocoon is making you stronger, is giving you wings to fly. So when those challenges come up, just keep that perspective that this would not be happening if there were not a bigger, better you on the other side. And every thread, every stumbling block, every little thing that comes against you really is making you stronger. And you are getting ready to fly. So this week, everything that happens, every little missed opportunity, every little time we're late, or someone gets in our face, or whatever it is, whatever challenge is, remember that that's a thread that's making you stronger. And you keep that in mind all week. Let's see if by the end of the week, if you're flying, because I think you will be. So just remember the butterfly, and it's a transformation from a very earthbound, tiny little animal to something that can fly for thousands of miles. You think of the migration of the butterfly from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere. You are boundless. You come from living on a single leaf to being able to fly the entire world. So anyway, so that's butterfly, and I wish you luck on all the threads that you will push against, and hopefully having that perspective helps to make the discomfort a little more comfortable. I find for myself, when I know that there's purpose in what I'm going through, as uncomfortable as it may be, that end goal makes it more tolerable and worth every moment of discomfort. So thank you, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.